3. Let me get comfortable with this. 2, 1. Hello, everyone. It is J Essence. I'm coming to you a bit different this time. Because normally I tell you about my day or I give you some type of observation. But this time I'm coming to you with like that tea moment, like the red table talk. Like I'm going through some issues and I'm trying to figure out the best option for me. And I realized that the issues that I'm going through are the same type of questions you guys are going to have. And I really know this because I've been doing this article for my cousin connection, trying to ensure that everything that you guys are asking about and talking about, we try to address it in some way. So before anything else, just go into the subscription bar, that area, comments. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want to see. In order for my cousin connection to do all the things you wanted or needed to do, post below some of those things that you really want to know about. I'm also going to put my email in so you can hit me up and let me know, because we're trying to get all of that stuff together. But because when you know when it's good, you got to sip a little something. You got to sip a little something. The conversation that really drives some serious critical thinking here is around transportation. So let me tell you, transportation is probably one of your bigger headaches in trying to figure out here. And it also becomes a headache because if you're trying to budget, if you're trying to stay within a certain realm, you kind of have to figure out the transportation thing early on. And it can change. Now, I've already done the whole transportation options where you have your moto, you have your bicycle, you can walk places, and then you have your car. But now that you actually live here, you kind of have to figure out with your lifestyle what's doable and what's sustainable. So I'll just give you kind of like my situation. I've been here six months. Yes, been here 6 months. And I feel like I've been doing fairly well with kind of maintaining and budgeting my transportation, but I also am walkable to a lot of things that's needed. And there's a big delivery game out here. However, with the stuff that's happening with YouTube and my cousin connection, I realize I'm doing a lot more visiting and a lot more going out and running errands. And I'm a runner. What's that one when they was like, I forgot what they say. Your britches is too tight. Like I could never just be still no place or whatever. So I'm breaking this piece down to you. When you're dealing with cars, I'm going to focus on cars now. You have a couple of options. And I think the first option people tend to go to is, should I just ship my vehicle over? And my opinion is no. And the reason why is there's already a lot of cars that are stuck. See, that's the gods agreeing with me. They agreeing with me like no to shipping. Because there's a lot of cars already stuck in customs, because if you go back to my video, that import tax gets hit. So even if you pay for your car to come over here and you're fine with paying that, once it gets to customs, you have to pay the customs tax to get it out, plus any storage fees. So that to me becomes almost way more worth what you're paying for, because customs is done off the price of what you ship. So they're going to do that tax off of how much the car is worth. And so if you're bringing a better car, newer car, like you're going to get hit with some serious money. So with that, the other piece is why I really said no before the cost is that unless you've come out here and visited, you need to know if your car at home is going to hold up to these hills and mountains and rivers and valleys and all the things that you're going to do. And if it does hold up, are you going to get mad if your car gets scuffed, scratched, skedaddled, scurred, or anything? And something else I told somebody is you want to check the tires, because I have not seen like new tires for sale. Now, this is not something I go for, and I don't know the prices, but your tire game is serious out here. And for me, I tend to do a lot of driving to different areas, so I'm on back roads and dirts and streets and everything else like that. So I want a car that you can get really good parts and spare parts. So if something breaks down or is out of whack, you can change it, you can fix it, no problems. So I would not come out here unless you've practiced and know like your lifestyle and then determine what kind of car you're going to get. So that's the answer to shipping for me. Told you, we in a conversation. So now the question is do I just work out a deal and do rentals? Because what I was looking at is I was renting on the weekends. And the type of car that I tend to like renting is I do not like the small cars because of the dirt road situation. And I'm short. And in the small car, you bouncing. It's just like, it's roller coaster city, baby. It's just, that's you in a small car. And it's just, everything's moving and shaking. So I have to pretty much mess with like a RAV4 and bigger, especially when I'm driving, because I'm new to out here in this game. And that's another thing. I don't want to be in no small car driving while everybody else is kind of over you or big. Like that's just that short girl complex. Like everybody looking over you and I'm looking up trying to figure out things. And another short girl complex, I'm behind the wheel because this happened in a short car. I can't see the pits and the valleys in front of me because I gotta do this number. Like when I'm in a taller car, I'm looking up, I'm looking down, and I can see the terrain and the driving, and I need to know that so I can plan. Because in you driving out here, you gotta, it's chess. You gotta plan 5 steps ahead, but you still gotta look 2 steps back because somebody in the back is doing something to you. So the option has been, I've been renting cars when I need them. So the car I tend to rent, I'm just being transparent, is a RAV4, which runs between, they say 30, but I've seen what I got for 30 to about $40 a day, depending on who you're working with or whatever. So if you look at that as a weekend, I hit almost like 100. Then so like 4 weekends, what I mean, like you can add it up. So the question now goes to, with me ripping and running and having to do things, do I just rent a car for a month and work that deal out versus do you just go and purchase a car? Now, when you purchase a car, you have a couple of options. Now, I'm going to put it all in the article so you can get that. You're just getting me off the cuff. You definitely have your used option. You can go to the dealership. The difference is if you go to the dealership, you can be reviewed at the dealership for the option to kind of do what we do in the West, where you pay your deposit and you pay something monthly. I am debating that one. I also know that I can, do what I need to do and pull a bunch of money together and just make a one-time payment. Now, what's really hard to talk about is I think that what we're used to in car-wise versus what you pay out here, you're getting cars that are being shipped over. You have your taxes, you have all that other stuff that happens with it, you have your importation, you have that. So you're not going to pay what you're used to paying for what you get. And so I just really put it back down to where I'm like in the old South. Like I need to get me a good old Cadillac, something that just drives. Like my grandpa at one point in time, we thought he had a Ford or Toyota, but he done cut out his own duct tape and made his own symbol. That's how old the car was, because everybody was having tags and he wanted a tag. So he just made a tag out of duct tape and plastered it on the car. Like I need something that's durable like that. Old Janky got us through a lot of stuff. And so you have that option to do that. One of the things that I didn't recognize or realize, but you can probably, and this is a game tip, so for those who come in on the Zoom calls, I don't really give game out that much here because, you never know what people are doing. If you do have the finances and the salary and all that stuff to qualify for a personal loan, you literally can probably apply and get a personal loan for the amount of the car and treat that as if it was the car payment. So you pay for the car in cash, but you actually are paying the bank monthly until your installment's done. And so that mirrors what we do in the US. So you have that option as well. So it's just looking at all these different options. I have the option of having a driver drive me around and do different things and all that stuff, where you're paying for the driver plus the car. So you're usually paying like a monthly that way. Or I can still do what I'm doing and rent every day and things like that. But I wanted to break down just when you talk about transportation. I know y'all keep on talking. I'm trying to give them the game. Y'all rumbling in the heavens and in the gods, What do you want to say? Okay, I see they didn't say nothing because they know I got the info. But you figure it out. It is costly. Unless you're doing that moto life. Transportation to taxi and everything is just one of those things that ends up adding up, and you really find yourself sitting back trying to make a good decision and a good deal on what you can do. Now there's other things you can do, because you can actually become a party and rent out your car. You can turn around and buy your own car and just get a driver to help you if you ever need that kind of assistance. There's just a lot of different ways you can go with it, but I'm at least giving you now the thing. If you're looking at coming over here, know to sit down and talk to people, get a better understanding, and there's going to be a really deep conversation around that. Gas. I think it's like the same price. I just haven't been in the States so long to do gas. I don't know what you guys are paying to fill up a tank. I've never filled up a tank out. Well, I did once. And then you have, like, some cars are diesel and some cars are super, which is normal. But your gas is kind of like a normal game. And then you do have manuals out here, and you have the automatics. And that's another thing. I'm leaning towards looking at a manual, because that stick shift, one, it gives you more gas if you know that game. Two, stick shifts tend to run a little bit less. And then also with the heels, there's something in that gear control, which I know how to do, that can ride out a hill and you're not using the gas. So I'm saving more on gas because I'm that cheap, y'all. I am that cheap. I am that person that's calculating everything in the budget. So that's it. So I was trying to give you that little game. You have a driver who can drive you. You can pay for that. You can pay for that weekly. You can pay for that monthly. You have the rent-a-cars. You can pay for the rent-a-cars monthly. You can pay for them daily. And you're not going through what we're used to with the big credit checks or the big deposits or all that stuff, unless you're going through like a name brand company. Renting a car pretty much is just keys are coming over, you sign a couple things, you're out. Simple like that. And then you have buying a new car, the dealership. You have buying an old or used car. And when you look at that, you have dealerships that do that as well, or third-party people, or you have people just selling. And one of the hot games out here is expat selling, because expats will buy a car, and then as soon as they leave, they will sell that car for whatever they choose to sell it for. So that's another thing if you're down here just listening, because people are always listening, leaving, and you can turn around and do that. There's so many options. But it is something to think about. It is something to consider. I hope this is one of those ones you jot notes down. This is one of those where you be like, what did you, yeah, yes, girl, yes. I did this so y'all can tell me, like, other options, ideas, hydration, what you've done out here. I have a couple of people who are from here, like, what is that? Because that car game, transportation is serious. Serious. And let me be honest with you, I need a car that is fixable. I don't need that. What's the special ones with like BMWs? You can only do BMW repairs at the BMW place. Well, the BMW place ain't gonna be over here. I need something where Ray down the street be like, so what's wrong with your alternator? Like, I need that. I need him to be like, okay. Because I've seen some things. The brothers out here are innovative. They have hooked up and made things happen and work. I done seen somebody with clippers just put two wires together. I seen them shave heads, not out here, this is in Liberia, with a razor and a toothbrush. And baby, fade line was clean. So I need something that the innovative brothers can fix for innovation list type money or bills, because that's what I do. That's how I do things. All right. This is another J Essence journey for you. My Cousin Connection is underway. We are on target. We are getting things done. I'm actually going to cut this off and go back to typing and writing and typing and doing all that stuff. I do have a mailing list. Right now we're sending out weekly emails. Once My Cousin Connection lifts off We're going to move to emails maybe twice a month or only once a month, just giving little small news updates out here, different things that you know or don't know. So if you want to be part of that mail list, I'm going to put in the box Gloria's email. She is the assistant. Hey girl, love you. She's the assistant for My Cousin Connection while we're getting off the ground and launching. So she will definitely put you in on the list and make it happen. For everybody else, thank you for subscribing, tuning in, like, share, all of those things. But until next time, peace. Deuces.